In 1498, Vasco da Gama's Portuguese fleet dropped anchor on the Malabar Coast of India. This map shows Calicut, their landing site. They sought the lucrative spice trade and isolated Christian populations. But exploring inland, they didn't find unreached pagans. Instead, they encountered a deeply embedded, sophisticated Christian society thriving for over 1,000 years. At the center of this society were their priests, known as Kathanars. This manuscript shows the liturgical language they used, Syriac, a Semitic dialect related to Aramaic, revealing their faith arrived from the East, entirely disconnected from the Latin-speaking church the Portuguese expected. The Nasrani community maintained an unbroken timeline stretching back to the year 52 AD. They traced their priesthood directly to the Apostle Thomas, placing their origins decades before the establishment of the Roman papacy. For the Portuguese colonizers, the existence of an ancient, independent Christian tradition challenged their worldview. To them, a priesthood that owed nothing to Rome fundamentally undermined the justification for European spiritual and cultural authority. The Kathanars maintained their lineage through apostolic succession, the physical passing of authority through the laying on of hands. They preserved this chain of physical transmission from the 1st century straight through to the 16th. In Kerala society, the Kathanar occupied a unique position. He held the social standing of a high caste figure within the local hierarchy, yet his daily vocation required him to kneel before the dying and serve the poorest members of his village without distinction. This dual role made the priest the binding element of the community. He arbitrated practical disputes over land and inheritance while guarding their sacred rituals, balancing social authority with absolute spiritual service. The Portuguese decided to dismantle this independence. In 1599, the Archbishop of Goa convened the Synod of Jayampere, forcefully imposing Roman Catholic doctrine and hierarchy onto the Nasrani. The Synod launched a systematic assault. They banned traditional Indian customs, severed the community's ties to the East Syrian Patriarchate, and ordered the destruction of their ancient texts. Portuguese authorities declared the Nasrani customs to be errors and explicitly told the Kathanars that their generations-old ordinations were entirely invalid. The Portuguese were attempting a forensic erasure of 15 centuries of history, replacing a localized Eastern tradition with strict European conformity. The Nasrani endured this control for 50 years until the tension finally snapped. In January 1653, thousands of priests and laypeople marched to the Church of Our Lady in Matancherry. They gathered around a large granite cross in the courtyard to issue a collective refusal. They swore an oath to sever ties with the Archbishop of Goa and reject Roman authority. Because the crowd was too massive for everyone to physically reach the stone monument, they tied thick hemp ropes to the cross. This allowed every person present to hold the line and participate directly in the protest. Historical accounts from that day state that the sheer force of thousands of people pulling on the ropes caused the massive granite structure to bend forward under their collective weight. This event became known as the Coonan Cross Oath, the bent cross. It marks the precise moment the Kathanars chose to defend their ancient lineage against the demands of a global empire. The oath did not bring immediate peace. The ensuing pressure fractured the community. Over the centuries, the Nasrani divided into multiple distinct denominations, forming the complex map of Orthodox, Catholic, and Marthoma branches present in modern Kerala. Yet, across all these organizational divides, the role of the Kathanar persisted. Every distinct branch retained their priests as the vital carriers of the original tradition. Today, just outside the walls of these ancient stone churches, modern Kerala hums with highway traffic and tech corridors, but inside, amidst the heavy scent of incense, the Kathanar still stands at the altar. When he chants the Eucharistic liturgy, he uses the anaphora of Adai and Mari. Scholars identify this specific text as one of the oldest surviving Christian prayers in the world. As he raises his hands in the orans posture, Arms outstretched, palms open, he mirrors the exact physical stance described in the earliest documents of the faith. The Kathanar remains. The tradition survived the rise and fall of empires because it was never entirely reliant on institutions. It was a practice passed directly, hand to hand, from a first-century shore to this very morning.